welcome back to the next episode of the Let's Chat Derbyshire podcast, where we talk about mental health, suicide prevention and neurodiversity. I'm Luke and I work in Derbyshire's public health team. Today we're joined by Matt. Hiya, Matt.
Hiya, mate. You all right, Luke?
Yeah, not bad. And we're going to be talking about Matt's life, covering topics around ADHD, struggles with addiction, but also the highs of, what he's up to now and how he's turned his sort of journey and life around. If you're not already, do like and subscribe to the podcast and follow us on social media at DCCMHSP. So, Matt, if you wouldn't mind us just starting off with how you're doing out of 10 today.
I'm a big fat 9.
That's good.
I'm feeling good. Very good. I could do a bit more cash, but other than that, we would be a 10 otherwise.
That's great.
But yeah, mentally, I'm great.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind us starting off with when you were a child, you were diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
So as a kid growing up, obviously, I was diagnosed with the ADHD.
Yeah.
And it was quite recognisable from being a baby.
Yeah.
Going to nursery, I was biting kids, I was attacking kids. So it's affected me from literally being a baby to now. Yeah. So growing up, it was really hard. It weren't that I was a really naughty kid. I think I was just a lot misunderstood.
Yeah, definitely.
With the teachers and stuff going to school. So in primary school, I got chucked out of primary school at Gamesley School in year 5 for fighting and chucking chairs and stuff, just being a terror. Then I went to another primary school. I got chucked out of there again.
Yeah.
And then going up to high school, year 7, I was on the induction day where you go. And I've ended up getting chucked out of my high school for the rest of my life on the induction day. Yeah. Being a bit of a prat, trying to be the class clown straight away. Yeah. So that didn't go too good.
No.
Then I got moved to a school in Buxton called the Prue. So that's for like children with a bit of behaviour problems.
Okay.
And they couldn't handle me either.
Wow.
So I got chucked out of there for fighting. Yeah. So I used to like fighting.
Yeah.
Hence why I went to the boxing.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it? Did you feel just not listened to, not heard to, or did you go out? Did you intend to misbehave, or was it you just couldn't?
No, I didn't. I didn't intend to misbehave. I wanted to be like the other children. I'm just different. I'm genetically not the same as other children with ADHD. So I struggled to get my attention onto like pen and paper work wise. So I really struggled. And then obviously with me not doing the work that I was meant to be doing, I was messing around trying to distract the classes and just being the class clown, trying to get the attention that I wanted, craving. Yeah. So it didn't go down too good.
No, it's like a bit of a defense mechanism, isn't it? Other people, it's like that shield, isn't it? I think. And
I agree with you there.
Yeah, actually, it can be quite easy, I think, can't it? If you
just start playing
first.
up. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, no, I resonate with that definitely, definitely. So it sounds like from a young age, it's been tough, hasn't it? Your
very
mental
tough.
health must have took a hit.
Yeah,
sounds
definitely.
Like there's been a lot of trauma as well up to that. How do you think it affected you?
So obviously not finishing school and stuff like that, GCSEs, I grew up with no qualifications, so I struggled to get into any sort of work. Yeah. Luckily I could box. I've boxed since being a kid, 11, 12 years old. Nice. And that's my job now. So I'll put it into something that I can actually do because I understand boxing. It's not not pen and paper. I just struggle with like classwork and stuff. Hands on, I'm great. Yeah. But I did struggle a lot growing up, definitely.
Yeah. When you were boxing at that young age, how did it help you? Was it a bit of a release for you?
So I'll tell you how it all happened. So my mum, obviously, with me being chucked out of schools and stuff and fighting a lot, she went to one of my neighbours because my neighbour was a boxing coach.
Okay.
And she went round to him one day and said, like, I can't control my kid. Can you do something with him? And luckily, he took me under his wing and he started taking me training. So then once I started hitting the bags and getting a bit of sparring, getting punched, as daft as it sounds, I loved it. I loved getting a stiff right hand on the nose. That made me feel alive, Yeah. So boxing was my release.
That's amazing.
I understood boxing. It was good. I behaved, and if I wasn't behaved in a boxing club, I wouldn't be able to go back. So I was on best behaviour if I could be. Sometimes I'd obviously get distracted. But it's boxing's it saved my life. It's massively helped me in so many ways. Mentally, physically, it's the best thing ever started.
No, it's really interesting. while we were boxing, I guess before that, when we, spoke before and stuff, you mentioned about the substance misuse and using drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
Would you mind, just sharing a bit on, I guess, how it started? And
Yeah, of course. So growing up, I was probably about 13, 14 when I first started to try drugs, and that was cannabis.
Yeah.
And it was more to be with the lads. They was doing it, I wanted to do it, kind of thing. And I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest, the smoking weed. And then as we got a little bit older, 14, 15, we started hitting a bit harder drugs like amphetamine and pills and stuff like that, which mentally didn't agree with myself. And my mental health started deteriorating from there, I'd say, since using the drugs, and then it was turning to drink. So then it went from using the amphetamine and the pills from being 14, 15 to using cocaine, and I abused the cocaine for years. And that really, really had a bad effect on my mental health. To the point where even when I was younger, I was self-harming. And then as I grew older, I carried on abusing the drugs. It was like my little escape. It was more like a numbing thing, like to get me out of this reality of being worthless and not being good enough for society because I didn't fit in. So I was using drugs, and then that made me feel really good until they come down, and I'd be really down and depressed. And I'd go back to them and start using drink. So I used cocaine up until, I can't remember what age. It was from probably being about 17 to 20 odd years old. And then it started to have really bad side effects, like on my mental health. I started getting paranoid, and I didn't trust my own parents. I didn't trust my missus. And so I tried to kill myself. I started self-harming really bad, and I fully tried to take my own life, which is pretty scary. So I stopped the cocaine and started using ketamine. So I've always been on drugs, always from being the age of 14, 13. Wow. I've always had some sort of drugs. And then the ketamine, it made me feel good for about a year until I started abusing it again. And then it started having the opposite effect. It started mentally really making me poorly. And then I found myself in a bush on my own with a knife trying to take my own life. I shouldn't be here. And from that day, from when I was in that bush and I didn't die, I shouldn't be here. I was lucky. I'm here for a reason. That's for sure. I woke up the next day and I said, that's it, I'm done. And I went teetotal. I'm now over 3 years clean. Don't drink, don't take any drugs. I'll take you back a little bit. So I was boxing a lot. I was competing, doing boxing, and I broke my hand in my last fight. And that's when I went really dark, into a dark place, because I couldn't do something I loved, which was my escape, if you like. So I started the fighting, broke my hand, and then it was downhill from there. That's when I really did start abusing the drugs in my body. That's when I found myself hid in a bush with a knife trying to kill myself. And then after that day, I woke up and that was it. I was done. I went teetotal. Started training people out of my back garden. So because I couldn't box anymore, I wanted to be involved in it still. So I started doing the coaching out of the back garden. I was charging minimal because it was in the back garden, but I was really, really busy. Like I was training 10 people a day, like one-to-ones in and out. So it come to winter, and I thought, I need to do something with this. I need to open something. So I opened a boxing club.
Amazing.
And since stopping the drugs, my life's just completely done a U-turn. I was rock bottom, and now I'm on a 9 out of 10. I'm feeling the best I've ever felt, physically and mentally.
That's great. When you were, younger, taking drugs, you mentioned about self-harming and stuff. What age was that? And was that, do you think, just because of the effects of the drugs making you feel so, isolated and depressed and down, or?
So the first time I self-harmed was about 13. I think it was more of a cry for help. I wanted attention again, ADHD. And then the real self-harming where I didn't want to be here, I tried to do myself in, I was about 28. I'm a dad to a 13-year-old at this point. So it's a bit selfish, you know what I mean? Obviously it's not what I wanted to be doing, but that's where I ended up. And it wasn't great. No,
it sounds hard. It
wasn't
sounds
good.
Really hard. Where did it lead? I think I remember reading a bit about you doing a short time in prison and stuff. Was that off the back of the drug abuse, the depression
definitely.
and
so
stuff.
I can go into that. So when I was 18 years old, I've gone up to one of my friends, somebody owed one of my mates £20 for a bit of weed.
Right.
I was on cocaine, I was drunk. Me and my mate, I've seen this lad drawing money out of the cash machine, and we've asked him for the money, he won't give it us. Tried running my mate over, so we've gone up to his house, coked up, obviously. We've smashed his windows and tried to threaten him to burn him alive. For £20, ended up getting myself 2.5 years in jail.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that again. That.
At 18, 19 years old, that wasn't
really
great. With a daughter who was 2 at the time.
Wow.
So that was a bit of a reality check, and that made me grow up a lot.
Yeah.
It made me grow up.
What was it like for you? Yeah, how was that experience for you being so young, I guess?
Yeah, so it was scary. I remember going in there and crying to myself at night, thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? It's in for me. I'm in a big place there. It was scary. But I had to, I had no choice. I was there.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with it, and I dealt with it the best I could. And like I say, it did make me grow up. I grew up, I started doing education in there because I didn't finish school. So I done my maths and my English in there. I'd done an engineering railway track maintenance, so I got an MVQ level 2 in that.
Oh, amazing.
So it literally turned my life around. Like, as bad as it is going to jail, it helped me. It changed me as a person.
That's really interesting to hear. So, and I think it's good that you managed to make such a good situation out of one that could have ruined some. I think, it could have finished some people off.
Definitely.
It's either one or two ways.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. It was horrible.
When you left, I bet you were overwhelmed to start with and stuff. What was the path after that? Were you feeling better and stuff still?
So when I got out of jail, I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I had every intention of getting out and trying to sort my life out. But again, I didn't finish school. I had no qualifications. Mm-hmm. I couldn't just get out of jail. You go into jail anyway, and trying to get a job's hard enough. Yeah. Especially without any qualifications. So it just went back to how it was. But I was back out with the mates. I was taking the drugs. I was drinking. And it didn't. It changed me as a person. I grew up a lot. But it didn't. When I got out and I couldn't get a job and stuff, I just went back to the old me. Yeah,
old habits can I think creep in quite easily, can't they?
Yeah.
Do you remember? I guess how does it feel to be in that situation? Now looking back on it.
Yeah.
What was it like? I can imagine it would be quite lonely, even though you had all your mates around. So
lonely, mate. So lonely. It was scary. Yeah. Like, it was scary. It was lonely. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody, but again, it did make me grow up a lot. Yeah. Definitely.
No, that sounds really tough time that you've managed to. So, how old are you now then? So you're out, you've done a bit and stuff. You said you were 28 when you first tried to take your own life.
Yeah.
What happened?
I broke my hand, which led me to abusing the drugs and stuff, and being like trying to take my own life. So after that, it was mission get teetotal, and then I rebuild myself from there. So again, it's over 3 years now. I'm 31. I started building myself back up. My partner took me back. I got back with my partner, and she's my rock. She's helped me loads, more than she knows. Definitely, massively. So I started building myself back up, and then that's when I started the coaching out in the back garden. I was 6 months clean. I was feeling good. Thought, right, I want to start giving back. So I started the coaching, and it was helping so many people. Like people coming to me with mental health issues because they know I've been there myself. Obviously, 6 months clean now, and I'm helping loads of people. It's so rewarding, and that was building me up more and more. The more people I was helping, the better I was getting, and that was my path. That's why I'm on this earth. That's why I didn't die that day. I'm here to help other people. I found my path now. I found what I'm about. Did you feel, I guess, more accepted once you noticed? There was something you were good at. People were wanting you, needing you. Yes, definitely. And you could, put your energy into that had been lost for so long. It's not that when you see somebody coming in struggling with themselves and mental health or the weight or whatever, and you start helping them, and they're coming in and the shoulders are down and their head's down, and they're leaving your garden smiling and bouncing after just one session. It's so rewarding. That's like seeing you just change that person's life. Well, not life, but change the mindset within an hour and make them feel good. And then they're coming back, and I've helped drug addicts. I've got people clean through doing boxing. I've helped loads of people. Yeah, it's so rewarding.
That's really, really interesting. And I think if I remember reading a bit, there was a bit around when you had a bit of psychosis from the drugs.
Yeah.
Do you remember at all what that was like? Or?
Oh God, it was a dark place, man.
Yeah,
a very dark place. Just didn't trust anybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, my mum, my dad, my partner, anybody, my best friends.
Wow.
If I was out going for some food with them, I'd drink my drink before going to the toilet because I'd think they'd be doing something to my drink. I was that paranoid.
Yeah.
I thought I was hearing voices coming out of the telly, other people, like people speaking to me out of the telly. I thought my mum and dad had a camera in my bedroom on me. Like, it was dark.
That must
be
scary.
So scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, that sounds really scary. So yeah, just jumping back, I guess, to the box bit. So you're doing it out your back garden.
Yeah.
What led to you opening the gym then? Things were going well. Becky.
Yeah.
Were going well.
Yeah.
You had your daughter.
Yeah.
What were the next steps then? Because it sounds like you turned stuff around. You were really focused and you knew what you wanted to achieve.
Yeah, so I started in the back garden. It was summer, so it was nice. Early nights, light nights, sorry. And I was really busy. And then winter come. Yeah. And it was like, oh, what am I going to do now? Yeah. Can't train people. It's chucking it down. So I looked at getting a premises. Yeah. I got my premises. I've had that for 2 years now.
Oh, amazing.
And it's thriving. The business is absolutely booming. I'm busy as booked up every week. Yeah. I'm helping loads of people. So that's how it started in the back garden to then owning my own little boxing club, which is now my business. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. What sort of stuff do you do at the club? You know, I've mentioned about a men's group you hold, the boxing, the retreat. You know, there's such a range of stuff you're doing at the moment.
Yeah, so over the past 3 years, from being the lowest of my life, I've turned my life around massively. Like I'm actually very proud of myself.
Yeah,
which is one thing I've never been able to say.
That's a great.
So it's amazing. Yeah. Like you said, I have a men's mental health group in Glossop open on every Friday, 5 till 7. That's called Let's, and it's listen, exercise, talk and support. Love it. It's just a support group for men. Yeah. We do monthly walks. It's growing in numbers weekly. Like, it's helping loads of people. We have a WhatsApp group that people can talk to you on if you're not at if the group's shut because it's only open on a Friday. We're looking at getting our own building to then start a youth group and a women's group, not just a men's. Yeah. So it's hopefully going to be big. Also, I've set up a business doing retreats, which is called Mind and Muscle. Yeah. So that's going away. Like, we've just got back from Wales. We did a weekend in Wales, Friday to Sunday. Yeah. And that included boxing, circuit training, cold water therapy, mindset development, stuff like that.
That's great.
So yeah, I've gone from having nothing, no GCSEs, no job, no nothing, rock bottom, trying to do myself into owning a boxing club, a retreat, and running my own men's mental health group, which I've got going in Glossop.
That's amazing.
So I've come to realise all that dark, horrible stuff that I've lived, it was just my path. I had to live that to be the person I am today. Yeah. Because if I didn't go down through them paths and try and self-harm and drug abuse and alcoholic, I wouldn't, how could I give advice on mental health? How could I open a men's mental health group? Yeah. So I've come to realise I had to live that dark bit to be the best version of myself today, which is helping loads of people.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's helping loads of people, isn't it? And you having that experience just makes it so much more relatable. I suppose
I'm just living proof that you can actually hit rock bottom and rebuild yourself up to be 10 times better than you was.
It's inspiring, you know.
I'm not stopping. Yeah. I'm going to keep going.
That.
The drive on me is unbelievable.
Yeah. You're obviously helping so many people as well.
Loads.
So, and yourself as well.
Massively.
Like, you know, to say how proud you are of yourself, I think it's incredible.
I've never been able to say that.
You should be so much,
Cheers.
No, it's great. What do you see in the future then? What?
Hopefully a millionaire. No. I'm hoping to get a bigger boxing club. Yeah. Because the size, it's not the biggest of clubs. I'm hoping to get a bigger place. The retreats, I'm wanting to try and get quite a few of the retreats done each, maybe every couple of months. Yeah. The men's mental health group, I'm hoping to turn into just a Friday night where it's an hour and a half. I'm hoping to have our own building. Yeah. So we can be there all week. Support everybody, not just men, youths and women. Yeah. So I've got big goals, big aims.
That's inspiring.
I want to set up another business. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to say what it is because I might get my idea nicked, but I'm hoping to have another business running by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that could be free businesses. Yeah, I just don't want to stop. I'm just driven. I'm driven, and the more I'm helping people, and the more I see these people smiling when they're coming into the mental health group and they're down, and then they're coming back a few weeks later and they're like, the group's really helping me. Like, then with the WhatsApp, we take them out on monthly walks and stuff. It just builds me more and more each month. I'm just getting better as a person.
I love that.
And I've just got no way I'm stopping.
Yeah.
I just want to carry on bettering myself and helping as many people as I possibly can.
Sounds like you've managed to balance your ADHD a bit more then, and being instead of, be able to use that focus, that drive into something really good.
100%. And I think people with ADHD, I find myself is exercise is the key. Yeah. Exercise is my medicine. I don't take medicine. I don't take any doctor's prescriptions. Yeah. I train 6 times a week. Amazing. And that is my medicine. Like, I think if you have got ADHD and you're listening to this and you don't train, maybe just try and get yourself out on some sort of walks. Try and join a boxing club, a kickboxing club, a yoga club. Go running, go to a gym and lift some weights. Any sort of exercise is going to make your brain feel a lot better than it does.
That's really good.
I know that because I'm living proof. Training is the key. It's the medicine.
Yeah, and it's great as well because you're a qualified PT now as well. Yeah, that's qualified personal trainer.
Yeah.
How was it doing that? But that was such a achievement for you.
Yeah,
like
of course, because it was a classroom thing again. And when I got in there, I was like, oh God, we're back in classroom.
Yeah.
But no, I managed and it was fine. Yeah, which I've never been able to sit in a classroom and manage. Yeah. Well, I did quite a lot, so I was impressed with myself. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I struggled. Like I was fiddling with stuff and
no, but
I got through it and I passed the. I've got my qualification now. I've got the boxing club and stuff. I
think for anyone, I guess, that is listening, you might have a child, struggling at school, or if you struggle at school yourself, I think you are proof that there is something there for everyone.
Definitely.
And it's just about finding what you can do.
Yeah.
Because school isn't for everyone.
If you are listening and you've been to school and you haven't got qualifications, again, I'm proof that you can actually do something with your life. Yeah. You just got to have that drive. Yeah. You've got to find a drive. I know it's hard to find sometimes, but once you find it, you just got to keep going with it.
Yeah.
And just wake up and try and get yourself into some sort of morning routine. Like wake up, go out for a little 20-minute walk, start the morning like with something productive and something that you're going to feel good for doing. Yeah. And it just sets your day on that sort of level where you should be. That's great. Rather than getting up, sitting on your phone, lying in bed for an hour. Get up, get out and get something done active. Yeah. It makes you feel a lot better.
Yeah, that's great. And you've got 2 lovely girls now as well, haven't you? Yeah. Your partner and stuff. Yeah. So things going really good.
Started all over again. I've got a 13-year-old and a 1-year-old. Must be crazy. No, they're my world. They are my world. They are what keep me going. Yeah. Like that's why I strive for more and better, because I want them girls to look at me and be like, that's my dad. Yeah. Rather than when a few years ago, like you wouldn't have even wanted to acknowledge that I was the dad. I was a mess. Yeah. I was drugged out of my head. I was drinking every weekend. I weren't bothered about the kids. Well, the baby wasn't here then, but I wasn't bothered about my eldest girl, as sad as that is. Yeah. I was selfish. I didn't care about anybody apart from me and getting that fix and trying to get off my head to try and numb myself. When really it's just digging that bigger hole. Yeah. Before you know it, you're going to hit the bottom of that hole. Yeah, no, definitely. Just before we, finish up and round off, is there any advice? I think you've already given some great advice, but is there anything else you'd like to just let people know who are listening? Especially for those living locally and stuff, if there's any blokes listening now. Like I say, I run a men's mental health group, so if you're a man and you're struggling, we have our group in Glossop at the Glossop Bureau at 5:30 till 7. And if you're young and you're listening, it's just try and take the advice that we're giving, because drugs aren't no good. You need to get away from them, join the gym, and just try and rebuild yourself. Yeah. Like it's never too late to start again. No, that's one thing. It's never too late to start again. Yeah. You're never too old to start again either. Yeah, no, age is just a number. Yeah, no, it's as long as you don't feel the age. I'm 31. I think I'm 14 still. My body tells me I'm 31, but my head's like, no, you're still a baby. Come on. That's great. No, thank you. And no, thank you. Thank you for sharing your story, because like you said, it's just shows, doesn't it, that I'm happy if it helps one person. Yeah. That's what it's about. If I can help one person with this story, then I've done my bit.
No, thank you.
That's all it's about.
Yeah, when this goes out, we'll share some information regarding, getting support for drugs, alcohol, information about the groups you run as well. Yeah, cool. And if anyone wants to get in touch with Matt, then the Bureau have got, the details for that in Glossop. So
it's not just men either. Like if you're a woman and you're listening, like obviously I don't run a women's group at the minute, but it will be coming to Glossop definitely.
Yeah.
But there is groups out there. There is people out there. You just gotta want the help. That is one thing I realised is no matter how much somebody tells you, family, partners or whatever, you need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop. You're not going to stop until you're ready.
Yeah.
But when you are ready and you stop, it's going to be the best thing that you've ever done because you can only get better. Like once you go rock bottom off drugs and stuff, you get away from it. You can rebuild. You can, like you start thinking. Your head starts working. Yeah. And then you can come up with a business. You can do something like, when you're off your head on drugs, you're not thinking about apart from the next hit. You're not bothered about work. Not bothered about your kids are out. So I think it's about just trying to get away from drinks and drugs, getting into some sort of exercise, and watch your brain just start ticking again. It just rebuilds.
Yeah, I bet your partner's seen such a 360.
She's seen me from rock bottom to the person I am today, and like she tells me how proud she is. You know
That's lovely. I love that.
Honestly, I'm really proud of myself, which is it's so good to say because I've never been able to say it. Yeah. So it is good. No, I'm going to do them girls proud. No, hopefully become a millionaire.
Yeah, you're doing them proud already, aren't you?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I wish you all the best, I think, in building, your little empire, I think.
That's it. I've got no intentions of stopping anyway. The drive's there.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Lovely, thank you.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Cheers.
Nice one.
So you've been listening to the Let's Chat Derbyshire podcast. Don't forget to follow us on at DCC MHSP, and like I said, we will be sharing information regarding what Matt's doing in Glossop. Thank you.